Hello everyone, it is Wednesday, April 10, and we are back with another crypto market update. Okay, so here we are on the Bitcoin chart and we're zoomed out to the daily time frame. And it's really important to start on the higher time frames because the waves on the higher time frames will guide us on the smaller day-to-day trades. And so this is that high on Bitcoin that we had at 73.8K. And so we're tracking this retracement here for wave 4. And so yesterday we had mentioned that Bitcoin was going to come back down and test the top of the triangle and sit right above the MA. So right now we're currently testing the top of this triangle and the MA. After Bitcoin came down and it tested this MA right here, you can see it came back up and touched the top of that triangle there as resistance. And currently it's come back down below the MA, and now the MA has turned into resistance. So yesterday I had mentioned that if it does come down and test the MA and breaks down below it, we could come back down to the bottom of the triangle. And so right now I believe that Bitcoin is going to start to come down and form that last wave of the triangle. We do have this major fib here at 678, and the bottom of the triangle is around 669 or so. So I believe Bitcoin's going to come down and form that last wave of the triangle down to here. And pay attention to the RSI because the RSI did come down below its MA and it's now trending under the MA. So trending below the MA on the price and below the MA on the RSI is bearish confirmation. And so that's what I'm expecting on Bitcoin. Casi is going to take you into the subwaves and give you a closer look at what we're expecting.
Okay, so I am zoomed in here now on the Bitcoin 1 hour. You can see we're very near the end of this triangle, kind of like Tara's talking about. We're really near the end of this correction as a whole. So considering that, we're not going to be expecting really clear waves coming down. We're just targeting the support and resistance tests. So you can see, as she mentioned, we came down, tested a little bit as support, but ultimately broke through and got some perfect resistance tests. So this is what we're looking at right now, kind of zoomed in, and probably going to come back down to that bottom trend line for our wave E. So for one more wave down, paying close attention to the RSI on the short term here as support, but then the larger support once it gets down to this trend line. First, I'm going to show you how to get the retracement levels, which are going to be your key retracements. You can see it's hitting a 236 retracement as key resistance here. So you could have those on your chart just in case we come up to test a little bit again. And then I'm going to show you how to get the target down here at the bottom trend line. So let me go ahead and quickly show that. So for the first retracements, it's just your fib retracement tool and you come down to the low. Okay, so these are our retracement levels that I just talked about. We're finding resistance at the 236. So these are key levels you're going to want. And then now let's get the target for down here at the bottom. So I'm going to start to set the high that it made and then the midterm low and then this upper resistance here. And you can see we're getting perfect alignment on these extensions right on our 618 extension, which is at 66,800. So this is going to probably be our target right there. But we do have that lower target at 65,000, which if E wants to stage a little bit of a fake out, that could be our next short-term target down there. So keep close attention to the RSI as it hits this target here, which is strong support. So this is what we're looking for on Bitcoin.
Okay, so here we are on Ethereum and this is the daily time frame. So we're zoomed out quite a bit on here. After this resistance here at that 618 retrace, we've come down and we've now supported right above the MA. And it's also that major 236 support. So when Bitcoin does come down for that final wave, Ethereum is most likely going to come down with it. I've mentioned before that this 382 is a very significant level during this entire retracement. So it's possible that when Bitcoin comes down and Ethereum follows, that Ethereum is going to target this 382 here at 3115. So this is going to be major support on Ethereum for when the market starts to head down. Keep in mind, we do have this target here at 2700 that we have not hit yet. And this was our target for our full ABC correction. So what we're going to do is we're going to pay close attention to when Bitcoin hits its target and where Ethereum is at that time. And so if Ethereum comes down to this 382 and Bitcoin still has more room to go down, I believe that will allow Ethereum to have some more room to come down to this lower target here. But for right now, these are our current supports on the higher time frame for Ethereum: 3115, 2814, 254 and 2700. And just like Cassie and I have mentioned, we believe this is going to be the final wave down before we come up and make new highs. So let's make sure that you guys are prepared for this drop coming down here, because I think it's going to be a really good buying opportunity. And so Cassie's going to take us into the smaller subwaves on Ethereum and show you what we're expecting.
Okay, so Ethereum 1 hour, and just as you mentioned, Tar, Ethereum really has not broken out of its structure yet, so it's definitely getting a little bit more muddy. We're still kind of stuck in what I would consider the B wave until we have indication otherwise. One thing short term though I am monitoring is this trend line here, which you can see it's respected several times. So this is going to give us a good indication of a drop and breaking trend. But I'm considering the last high we made top of B, even though it was cut short and didn't hit that one extension. And let's see if we can get some clear development to get us out of this mess. And you can see even on the RSI, it's really unclear. We're not really hitting support on the MA. We're not hitting resistance on a trend line. So we're just kind of stuck waiting for a move on Ethereum. For right now, we're going to need a little bit more development to be clear on the larger trend that it's on. So once we get a break on Bitcoin, it'll probably be more clear.
Okay, let's get over to XRP.
So I have XRP up here, the 1 hour. One thing that I do want to mention is that we are near the end of this triangle. So all of these subwaves are just going to get really constricted. They're going to be messy. We're not looking for anything really clear as far as structure goes. We're just looking for the tests of support and resistance. So this purple trend line is our major resistance of over 6 years. You can see for a while now, we've been trying to break out above it, kind of following along with Bitcoin and getting tossed along there. So yesterday we did come up and we tried to break a little bit and ultimately came back down, and we are sitting back below resistance again. We are at a 382 retrace. As long as we are above this 0.5 fib, XRP is still considered bullish. So we can't really expect it to start making new lows until it confirms, at least by breaking this 0.5 fib. So I think as long as Bitcoin is going to continue to range and not break down, XRP probably will continue to range. But ultimately, when Bitcoin breaks down, XRP will probably follow, and it will probably come back down to its lower supports. So like we've mentioned before, we have the 52 cents to 54 cents that we're eyeing once we get a break of support. Really critical moment on XRP, I'd say, because we're testing the resistance several times. It's very near the end of this triangle, but I do think we have some support levels down here we need to test first just to get that strength to break out officially. Again, guys, what we're looking for is breaks of this long-term resistance and seeing it build support on top. So that will help us get confirmation it's flipping to support. But every time it breaks out, it really struggles to hold anything outside of this area. So you can see that's exactly what it did. We ultimately are back down below. So we do need some kind of strength to help us break this, and that is really clear with how many tests we've had. So that's what's making us believe that we will probably need to come back down to that bottom support, and at that time it would be aligning with Bitcoin. So make sure you guys are prepared for these bottom support tests. This is not a buying opportunity as we're sitting here under resistance. Buying opportunities would be down here at these levels, or if we start to flip to support on top, which we would definitely give you guys a heads up when we see that, which we're not seeing right now. So yeah, be prepared for these lower levels here to buy and start to ladder into a position or buy more into your holding. These would be the time to do that. So one last wave down to support, as Tara mentioned, is what we're expecting. So everyone needs to be prepared for that.